This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I first have to say this meeting of the MRPC is being held in accordance with Governor Baker's COVID-19 executive order regarding the open meeting law and remote participation. For note, all votes will be taken through roll call. Okay, the first item on the agenda is, let me find my agenda here. Actually is the roll call, if I'm not mistaken. I have the attendees here, so as I call your name, please say aye or whatever you feel like to acknowledge you're here. Alan Pease. Oh, okay. Alina Bertland.
Here.
I hope I pronounced that correctly. She is a new member from Fitchburg.
It's a Lynn Butland.
A Lynn Butland. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. I never was very good at my phonetics.
I answer to anything.
Okay, very good, Lynn. Welcome to the MRPC.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, let me get here. Barbara Yoakum.
I'm here.
Okay, Bob Schwartz.
Present.
Okay, George, well, no. Okay, we know George is here. He's staff. Glenn Eaton, staff. Guy Corbacero, present. John Telepiak.
Here. Present.
Laura Schifrin.
Here, present.
Okay, very good. Richard Ward.
Here, alternate.
Very good. Stacy Donahue.
Here.
Okay. Tom
Skorowski.
What's your last name again, Tom? I can't see it.
No, it's all right. Skorowski.
Okay, very good, Tom. And is there anybody I missed? No, I guess not then. I guess those are all our attendees. Okay, very good. I don't have any announcements. Does anybody have any announcements they'd like to make? Not in regards to anything that we have on the agenda tonight. Hearing none, I will move to approval of the June 4th, 2020 MRPC minutes. They were distributed early, well, I think yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Looked them over. They did the corrections that we asked for last time in the previous minutes. So does anybody have any additions, deletions, corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept as printed.
I make a motion, this is John Slupsiak, I make a motion that we approve the June 4th meeting minutes.
Okay, very good. Do I have a second?
Bob Schwartz, second.
Okay, very good. We have a motion. Any other discussion on this? If not, I will call the roll again. Alan Pease? Lynn Butland?
Aye.
Barbara Yoakum?
Aye.
Bob Schwartz?
Aye.
Guy Corbacero, aye. John Telepiak?
Aye.
Laura Schifrin?
Aye.
And Stacy Donahue?
Aye.
And Tom?
Aye.
Okay, very good. And those are accepted unanimously. Next item on the agenda is the cash schedule. Laura, are you prepared to give that tonight?
I am the first night, and like I said, my eyes have been dilated and I can't see. So, Glenn, could I ask you to review that, please, for them?
I'd be happy to. I can do that, and I would ask if anybody else has any questions. So let me just minimize a couple things and maximize this so I can get a better view. There we go. Bear with me, folks. There we go. Okay. So basically, the bottom line is if you total all the accounts together, we've got about $361,000, $361,065.09 total opening balance at the beginning of the warrant and cash schedule. That includes outstanding checks of about $10,507.98. Basically, what's in the checking account at $96,000 and change that's an operating checking account. I'll be giving a couple of tidbits here and there. We have a new member, so thank you for coming, Ms. Butland. Look forward to giving you an orientation soon. But also, basically, so we have that in the operating account. The MMDT is Mass Municipal Depository Trust Account. That's basically our savings account. And let me hang on just a second. Cough while muted. Now, on the for the receipts that came in during the month, you can see that they are listed there. I won't go over them all, but basically we got some revenue from mostly from a variety of state contracts. You will notice $70,000 that came in from Glenn hates pop-ups to say I'm muted because they're interfering with my report. Okay, we get $70,000 in from MassDOT and the Combined Planning Grant. That's MassDOT and FTA. That's our largest contract, and we typically receive about $55,000 to $70,000 each month in revenue on that. Jason, I have a technical. Jason, I can't scroll down. Are you scrolling down for us? Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, sir. That's great. And I can see most of the bottom of the page. Grace, Jason, can you scroll down a little bit more because I've got all this mute stuff that's interfering. Perfect. Thank you, sir. So total receipts that came in, 114,000, giving us a total cash on hand of almost 476,000 for the month, less what the outgoing were, about 149,000, leaving a balance out to the warrant of about 320, just shy of $327,000. So you can see as of June 30, what's on deposit there in the checking. Again, that's our operating account, the outstanding checks, small debit card accounts, big small purchases. What shows in the MMDT is basically we didn't take any out, so that balance is nearly the same. The EPA program income account, just for the new member and a reminder of other folks, that's building up at a good level. We now have a policy, a loan policy to start lending that money out, and that's at about almost 180,000 bucks. We have one borrower who's paying about 3,800 or 3,600 bucks a month, and that's built up over time. So we're ready to start lending that out for brownfield assessments and revolving loan cleanup tasks, leaving us a total on deposit there about 327,000, just under that for the end of the month as of June 30. If there are any questions, I'll try to answer.
Any questions? If we have no questions, I'll entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report subject to audit.
John Slupczak, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, and who was that second?
Alan Pease.
Alan Pease. Okay, very good. Any questions before I call a roll? If I don't hear any, I'll start with Alan Pease.
Aye.
Elaine Butland.
Aye.
Barbara Yocum.
Aye.
Bob Schwartz.
Aye.
John Telepiak.
Aye.
Laura Schifrin.
Aye. And thank you, Glenn and Jason.
And Stacy Donahue.
Aye.
And Guy Corpusero votes aye, and it is accepted unanimously. Okay, very good. Next item on the agenda is administrative matters. 4.1, Executive Director's Report.
So I'll keep this pretty succinct. I have a couple of notes here to go through, and I think I'm done with the coughing fit. I'm very sorry about that, folks. We're going to be, just so you know, we'll bring the FY21 budget into the August meeting. We'll do some cleanup. We have a couple corrections, and actually we're showing more of a surplus than we did. Linda and I spent half the day going over the budget and tweaking some things. So you'll see that on the agenda for the August meeting. Just an FYI or a heads up. What we have is the related to COVID-19 as it affects the office. I reported last time that we were able to open in phase 2 of the governor and DPH allowed plan. Not open to visitors, but half the staff can go in a couple days a week. The other half of the staff can go in another couple of days a week. So we split it up. We have all our procedures in place and the appropriate. We're complying with all the state requirements. That's the bottom line. I had a COVID-19 test either 3 weeks ago or 47 years ago. It feels like time is really weird. I think it was a month or two ago. I was negative. We've had another employee self-report that they've had a test. They're in quarantine. So we've informed all the employees and made sure that those who came in contact with the employee in question are notified. Those who didn't are notified. Everybody's in the loop. The bottom line is that if you reopen and this happens, you have to have a set of procedures in place of what you do. So it was really good to go through this process, and we have the procedures. We're following them, and we're compliant with basically the state regulations and our own procedures. So just so you know, right now everybody's safe. We're hoping the party is going to have a negative report, and will let us know soon. But we're following the regs basically. Laura and I want to say to Aline Butland. So we have a new treasurer and we have a new member, and Linda and I would like to do, and some other staff honestly, do some orientation, especially for new members and especially for Laura. So in your post is Treasurer Laura. So we're going to reach out to you folks during the month of July. So why don't we have some burgers and some beverages over the next week or so. We'll get to you probably mid-July and invite you to maybe to some go-to-meeting meetings, and we'll talk you through a few things and do that. When that happens, we'll open it up to all the members because, Bob Schwartz might want to attend because he's been with us for a couple of years now. Station might want to go, etc. So we'll make sure it's open to everybody, but we'll focus on a couple people. And Laura, I think we'll spend some time directly focused with you. In that case, we'd invite the chairman, the vice chairman, and Alan Pease as our outgoing treasurer. I guess Alan, as of 2 days ago, you were done with treasurer for the fiscal 20. So we'd invite you, Alan, and invite Roger as we orient Laura to some procedures. I think that would be fruitful. So we'll do our due diligence there. I think that'll be a good thing. And just rounding out with a couple of final bullets here. Today I attended a free online training about budgeting and cash flow management. And first pony ride, I've done these before, but it was nice to have a refresher course. But then in the online training, there was a nice segment, an interrelationship between the budgeting process, cash flow monitoring, and strategic planning. So we're going to kick off strategic planning this year. I'll be planting the seed on that more at the August meeting, sending out some documents, and we'll initiate, I guess, officially, formally, some strategic planning in August. And I think the last note that I have, folks, is that you may see an advertisement from RPC to hire a full-time person and at least one intern, if not two. So I was saying, so we expect imminent award of a $400,000 federal economic development administration grant that will go over the next 2 years, $200,000 per year. So if it's awarded to us, let's July 6th, and we sign a contract July 15th, August 1, 24 months, $200,000 a year. It allows us to hire one full-time person, untitling the person with John's agreement, because it would be under John, our planning and development director, John Hume. This would be an economic development manager position. It would be at a range. We're going to advertise a range of entry level up to like a senior planner level. We'll see what's out there. I keep calling it person an ombudsperson. The ombudsperson, according to the CARES Act, the EDA reg, the EDA contract we're about to get, is to provide technical assistance to municipalities and the business community, figure out how we can help through COVID-19 and get the economy re-engaged. Basically, we've set up a plan. We would hire a full-time and a strong intern type. You know, I'd love to get a college intern from Pittsburgh State or out, but someone who's maybe junior, senior level, or sophomore, junior level, maybe strong in economics or business admin, but somebody probably from the business field. So those are some of the highlights. And unless anybody has questions on anything under the sun related to MRPC, I'd be happy to field questions. All good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Glenn. One-
Excuse me, I do have a question for Glenn. This is Barbara.
Okay, very good, Barbara. Go
Hi,
ahead.
Glenn. That's really exciting about the Economic Development Manager. How would communities go about applying? Are you going to develop a form or a means that we would reach out to you for assistance?
So basically, it improves our staff capacity. All right, to reach out, to use what was that old commercial? Must have been a public phone. Reach out and touch someone. So what the person's job, the role is to reach out to the leaders of every community. All right, and basically just really just like hit the bricks as much as they can in a pandemic. Obviously, a lot will be by phone, a lot will be by Zoom, and a lot will be in person. We're starting to get out there to find out what the needs are through the lens, through the eyes of re-engaging the economy, restarting the economy. You know, are all the businesses in Shirley on Main Street closed because of COVID-19? No, half of them are, but half of them are closed, half of them still open. Well, what's the problem? You know, is there something that we can do to help individual businesses or businesses collectively? And it's a search and find mission. And figure out what to do. I imagine this person is going to do a lot of information and referral. And wearing my old Chamber of Commerce hat, I mean, I wish I could just copy and paste some of my brain cells and put them into this new person, because a lot of what I did when I did commercial and industrial for a nonprofit is reaching out, company tours, talking to the business. What are your needs? Identifying needs. This person also will work pretty closely with me as I've been able to get a $25,000 state attorney general office grant to make 25 up to $1,000 business grants for small businesses. So, and quite frankly, I might manage the program to all the money more in the next 60 days before this person's been hired. But let's say that program's around and that person can help get the word out on the program. So this person is, like I said, ombudsperson. You know, what are the needs? Try to resolve them. I had a boss at the Chamber years ago, and he said, remember, we're not all things to all people, and neither is the MRPC or the governor or the North Central Chamber of Commerce or any of the chambers. So it's basically to work with people, figure out what the problems are. And in relation to COVID-19, not, why aren't people coming to downtown Fitchburg, right? Because that's an age-old question. But, what are the issues about COVID-19 that can be addressed that we can try to help to resolve? It might be this person reaches out and has a business forum in Shirley or Athol and says, well, half of those 10 people in the room need basic training in accounting or small business technical assistance. One needs a loan. Then it's basically partnering and working with the chambers, the private sector, and the town leadership, city leadership to say, we have another human resource here, or 1.5 human beings to help out. How can we do so? So that's going to be an interesting 24-month experiment. So there's nothing to apply for, Barbara, specifically to your question. It will be reaching out to all of you.
Sounds great. Thank you, Glenn, for that explanation.
Happy to do it.
Chairman, if I could make a suggestion that people who aren't talking, if they could put their microphones on mute, that might, we've got some interference. Thank you.
Glenn, this is Bob Schwartz.
Yes, sir.
Just a note, as of 10 July, the city of Gardner has a new mayor, Mike Nicholson. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just following up. That's all I'm doing.
No, I'm glad you said that. Well, I'll be sending Mike Mayor-elect Nicholson a letter next week reaching out and inviting them to communicate with the RPA and just, how can we help? We used to do this with Boards of Selectmen members when we had more staff, and then we had a downturn. So the reality is that we're going to, especially with a new mayor in the city, not an interim mayor, but a new, I guess, full-time permanent for 2 years or whatever the term is, Bob. So we'll reach out to Mike and I know Mike's family. I worked with his uncle Mark, and I know his dad. So we're pretty much in touch. So we'll reach out to Mr. Mayor-elect Nicholson and see what we can do to assist. No problem. But thanks for making a note of that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, very good. If there's no other questions, we'll move on the agenda. Next item on the agenda is the status report. You have it in front of you there. And now what the usual procedure is, I read off the headings. If you have any questions or want to speak on anything, please feel free to interrupt me. And we do have one resolution right near the very end. Okay, very good. We've got through the Glenn's executive director's report, so we move on to number 5, status reports 5.1, geographic information systems, GSI, Mr. Mapper and mobile apps, general. Community related, the Lunenburg Conservation Lands mapping, Winchton zoning map updates, Templeton Cemetery, Air Park parcel maintenance, Clinton parcel maintenance, Townsend parcel maintenance. Then we move on to comprehensive planning and related, ADA compliance checklist survey creation, DLTA. And under that, one other item, Harvard build-out analysis. Then we move on to transportation related, trail data application, bike inventory, MRPC travel by tourism. Then we move on to transit related, stop count. If no comments there, we go on to 5.2, planning and development, comprehensive planning division, Federal Economic Development Administration, the EDA. And there's just a note there, MRPC put together and submitted a $400,000 grant application to EDA for the following. You can read that, and I think Glenn commented on that last month, if I'm not mistaken. Then we move on to the Federal Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, Montechusett Regional Brownfields Assessment Program, Fitchburg, Lunenburg, Winchendon, that's in John's department, but he's not with us. So move on to Massachusetts Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs. Under that, the District Local Technical Assistance, and has a list of the MRP staff is initiating work on the following projects. I'm assuming that we finally have all the projects awarded out after the 3 rounds, if I'm not mistaken. Then we move on to the Massachusetts Department of Energy and Resources, DOER. Health Agency Tufts Momentum Funding. That's the $10,000 grant for the pilot program. Then we have Healthy Aging Tufts Fund. And I see here MRPC was awarded a $75,000 grant. Have we discussed that, Glenn?
Not in some detail, and I always defer to John Hume on this one. I think I asked him to talk about it. It was probably 2 or 3 months ago that it was submitted. So this is a good thing that this has come in. This will start. Supposed to start July 1. So by the time we get the contract started, like the Attorney General grant, supposed to start as soon as we get a contract. We've got a CDBG COVID-19 $250,000 grant pending, but this one's actually been awarded. Now we just need to sign the contract.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Glenn. And my computer crashed again. Community Development Division. Massachusetts Enterprise Center, no information. And then we go to 5.3 Transit. George, this is your department, and did you have a handout for we want to hear from you? George Cahill?
Yes, what we have here is the Mark has hired a consultant to do the transit development program update, and they had put together a survey for riders and non-riders, and we posted on our website. Please, if you can help us and fill up that survey and give it to your towns too, to post it on their website. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if the consultant already contacted the town yet.
Okay, on their website. Great. Thank you, George. Okay, if nothing else there, we move on to 5.4 Transportation. Now, this one here is the Unified Planning Works Program. This is where we have the resolution. And actually, read the first part here, and it's for authorization for the chairman to endorse the amendment for the FFY 2020 Unified Plan Work Program at the MPO meeting scheduled for Wednesday, July 15th, 2020. Now, the resolution is on the next page, which is page 7, and I'll read the resolution. And it be resolved that the MRPC has reviewed the amendment to the FFY 2020 Unified Planning Work Program, UPWP, and based upon this review, as well as the review of any comments received, authorizes the chairman to endorse the amendment to the FFY 2020 UPWP at the MPO meeting scheduled for Wednesday, July 15th, 2020 at 1 p.m. at the MRPC office. And that is the resolution. I know this is usually Brad's department, but he's not with us tonight. If I can, we have discussed this at previous meetings. I don't know if anybody has any questions. If not, I'll entertain a motion to move the resolution.
I make a motion that we allow the chairman to sign the amendment.
Okay, very good. Is that John Telepiak?
Yes, I'm sorry, yes. John
Okay.
Telepiak.
Didn't you see your voice, John? If I can't see. Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second, Alan Pease.
Okay, very good. Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this? If not, I'll call a roll. Alan Pease,
Aye.
Ellen Butland,
Aye.
Barbara Yocum,
Aye.
Bob Schwartz,
Aye.
John Telepiak,
Aye.
Laura Schifrin. Are you still with us, Laura?
Yes, I am. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. Everything's been going so quickly that I jumped it. And last but not, well, Stacy Donahue
Aye.
and Tom Sharansky.
Aye.
Okay, very good. And the chair, Guy Corbacero, votes aye. So that's passed unanimously. And then the only other comments here are the MJTC. At the June 10th meeting, the nominating committee put forth a slate of officers for the upcoming year. The chair is John Wyman, vice chair Nicholas Bosinto, and the secretary is Tracy Murphy from Winchendon. And the elections will occur at the July 8th meeting. So that's the next MJTC meeting. The next MPO meeting is July 15th. And we have any new business? Do we have anybody that wants to bring new business before the board? Not hearing any. Is there any other comments that people want to make? If not, I will call the meeting adjourned. If I don't hear anybody's comments, so I call the meeting adjourned at 7:31. And thank you, everyone, and see you next month.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Or at least talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Thank you for your time, especially 2 days before July 4th.